Hello everyone, Luca Blight here, and I am joined with some guests. But first, we have to get the obvious out the way that there's an Amber Alert for a young 14-year-old boy named Oscar Pine who's currently MIA. So yeah, this episode, weakest episode of the volume so far for me.
Like we've had warning reports that there's an older man inside of him, so we're worried that
Whoa, context.
Predation.
Yeah, but yeah, volume 6, episode 3 was divisive, but we can't say if it's weak or not. This just felt meh, which is better than horribly offensive.
This episode really highlighted my issues with the comedy. It's like
so there isn't any.
No, I mean
the comedy in RWBY's always been weak, though. It's always been weak.
Very loosely, though. Yeah, but it was bad. But at least it wasn't this annoying.
It wasn't this tone deaf.
Yeah.
Also, what the fuck was Ironwood doing hiring someone like this?
Maybe Maria's right.
I think they pointed it out that these are like supposed to be the misfit toys. Basically, they're not. Oh, hey Saber. These are not supposed to be the highest quality of
soldiers. These are the rejects and
yeah, they're kind of the backwater station guys.
Well, they're still not funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the tweel dumb thing.
Yeah,
I hated that when I saw all that in like the clip that Rooster Teeth released.
Yeah, they didn't get better in the episode.
Like those two guys in the first episode of this volume were bad, but at least they were somewhat competent. These two are supposed to be like that with soldiers, right?
They had personality. That was another thing.
Yeah, they had personality. You could tell that they were a bit corrupt, but overall they had a clear state of mind.
They were after graft. Like it's not terrible also, in the grand scheme of Monster Hunting.
Yeah, they weren't complete fools like the guys we got in this episode.
It's funny. This episode tanked the minute John was on screen.
Oh, you mean how?
I actually enjoyed the John Cena ones because it feels like they're intentionally trying to make him look like an asshole, which compared to unintentionally making him look like an asshole, that's sort of an improvement, I guess.
Also, him and his team fucking appeared out of nowhere in that first scene.
Oh yeah, that's just shitty framing.
Yeah, that just goes to show that Team June or whatever the hell they're called now are just unnecessary. Just get rid of them.
Yeah. They bring down the plot. They're like a second team that you have to explain plot to.
Well, at least they did the plot explaining off screen.
Really the worst character, the most annoying character in the entire show, who should have been killed off back in Volume 5. That's another rant.
The thing I will thank them for, and they kept making this mistake in Volume 5 with the repeating of the same context everybody knows about, is they got the exposition out of the way off screen. I'm so glad they did this.
I was applauding.
Nice.
Yeah, and then not having... Salem only uses people until they are no longer useful.
Yeah, this definitely feels like they're trying...
Speaking of Salem, you guys remember who we haven't seen throughout this whole volume?
What?
Only the villains.
We saw
episode 4.
We had Cinder and Neo were shown last episode in episode 7.
No, I mean Salem's crew, not just.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen them since 4.
I guess they're just taking a backseat.
Also, Adam, what's Adam doing? They said that Adam was going to do something in Volume 6, and so far nothing.
I guess he's just
less than nothing.
I guess what they're trying to go for is they're regrouping, they're reconsolidating from their losses. They're trying to recollect from the utter disaster that was Haven.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, I'm just like, we need to see more. We need to see them doing something.
Yeah, you need to see them winning, which is why I'm on the side of people saying that Cinder and Neo should attack this volume and gain a victory and kill say Crow, because then the villains will actually have a victory for once.
Real quick, guys. Dick Moo punching your sister's wall.
Yeah, for real.
Nearly breaking it.
Yeah, that is a
Maybe
big
that's
move.
why her sisters all hate him.
And Blake was probably just like, amateur, I burned my house down.
Yeah.
Also, where the fuck was his
I
sister?
burned my parents' house down.
And that
Where
shit
the
wasn't
hell
even
was his sister and
insured.
her family.
I'm guessing at the park with her kid or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Dropping him off at
Like-
daycare. Who cares?
They realized
No,
what
I-
show they were about to be a part of, and they
Look,
bailed.
Her role has
Maybe she and
Guys,
the
her role has-
waifu were, you know,
her
that-
role
that-
has
that-
been
that-
fulfilled.
that-
She's came out as gay, and that's all she was there for.
yeah, I'm gay. I'm leaving now.
Well, no. Her wife will probably be the Chekhov's gun to get them into the base.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I won't be too concerned about that right now. Let's just see how
They
everything
name dropped her working at the base. Like
goes. Yeah, Chekhov's
they-
gun. Yeah.
they
Also,
took
can I
time
just
out of it to say.
can I just say, the more I see Maria's model and the more I see the way she's animated, the more I just hate it.
How so?
Just looks ugly. Her design looks ugly. The way she moves is ugly. It just looks awkward and ugly.
I
Blame it against
guess.
the elderly.
Her character.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. She's got a big old head and a tiny body.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that they're trying to go for a Yoda vibe.
Actually,
She
yeah,
looks so
It's a very strong Yoda vibe, and it was just like this fool of an old lady who turns out to be a wise wizard.
Yeah, but she just
Kinda.
doesn't
Did
look,
they-
she doesn't look human, though, to me. Looks
Hmm.
so out of place compared to the other characters.
Mm-hmm. Completely disarming.
That other tiny lady whose name I forgot didn't look particularly
Yeah,
good
what-
It was
either.
like Caroline or Carolina.
I guess they might be like from like a tribe of midgets or something.
tribe of
No,
midgets. Well, no, because she was tall when she was younger.
It's probably an anime trope. It's an anime trope.
Yeah, it's the animated trope of elderly people being.
Speaking of short
small
ladies,
and
what'd you
hunched.
guys think of Colonel Racism?
Oh God, that was.
She was raped.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
complete idiot, complete fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I was so mad that it
Yeah,
wasn't
she was
winter.
racist.
I was so mad.
Question our glorious leader.
Okay, you know what I was. You know what type of vibe I was getting? I was getting a goddamn Adeptus Sororitas vibe from this. I was getting a. Did we just all of a sudden get into the Warhammer 40k universe and?
Oh my God, I can see.
Kind?
I can see the 40k memes being made right now.
No. If it's Warhammer 40k, our heroes wouldn't be so shit. Well, yeah, if Warhammer 40k and like RWBY can like fought each other, RWBY wouldn't last 5 seconds.
No, but I'm just saying in terms of the fervor she seems to fit into an Adeptus Sororitas style
Oh, yeah.
character role.
I was definitely getting. Go ahead.
Everything about the Argus base was completely hammy. Like it was
Yeah.
too over the top.
Yeah.
I felt like it was trying too hard to be like FMA, you know, or like Mr. Arms, like.
Now here's the thing, though. The generals and colonels and FMA were competent. They were a little goofy, but they had competence. These people, I don't know what the fuck these people are.
Like when
They're
that
supposed to be like Adam, strawman, and so that the show can say, militarism and nationalism bad.
like
Well, there's perfectly valid reasons not to want Blake onto an Atlas,
I know.
equipment.
Yeah, like confirmed, like former terrorist, continual terrorist, actually, based for what she did at Haven, and you know.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
arsonists.
I mean, there's probably an FBI wanted poster with her face on it somewhere.
yeah.
But to be fair, though, part of it is also probably the racism.
Oh, also
Yeah, but
another small complaint I had is that whenever people were trying to figure out like who this commander was to Maria, she said colleague and said warmer, and then she said enemy. Bingo! I'm like, how the hell is colleague warmer to like colleague and enemy are like antithesis towards each other? A colleague is somebody you work with, an enemy is somebody you work against.
I feel like they were trying to do a joke but failed.
Oh,
Yeah, and why would the off the
What was the joke?
Funny
Why would the off the grid vigilante Grim Killer have friends in the military?
Well, she was accredited. That was another thing. Like,
They focused so much
Well-
on trying to make this comedy scene look good that everything else looked like shit. Talking about animation wise and technical.
More like comedy because it knocked me the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just gonna
Seriously, the way
take
that-
that scene as just them not getting through. So let's move on to the other
Yeah.
The way that
I'm okay with
Ruby and the way the Ruby and Maria scene was shot was terrible. Like
Right.
it looked like a really low budget video game.
It felt like a very low budget, like something like very low budget, B movie storytelling camera shots, like by people who really don't know how to
Frame.
do anything other than competent framing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually okay going back to the base thing one more time. Last time, I'm actually okay, exorbitant about the racism thing because it's something that we should have seen last volume.
Oh yeah,
when
and,
we were in Haven
and
instead of that one sign at that bar and the Haven police force actually supporting the freaking
The foreign
Bob.
invasion by a sovereign nation.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. I can't believe that Mr. allowed that to go down and
No,
there wasn't
seriously. It would be
a
like
race riot erupt.
It would be like in the French riots right now. Okay, Germany has volunteered to send its militia to help Macron deal with the rioters. Like that.
And then just letting them come, oh yeah, sure, nothing could possibly go wrong with German troops marching into Paris.
that didn't already happen twice before.
Yeah, every time that's happened, it's been just net positives.
Especially that second time in the 1940s.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that was actually the first time. They actually failed the first. Well, oh yeah, the first time. If you mean the Franco-Prussian War. Yeah.
The Franco-Prussian War was the first
Yep.
time.
Oh yeah. In which glorious leader Napoleon III, strategically got his army surrounded by the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
strategically, of course.
Right. The French are
Strategically.
smart.
Guys, I'm
Got
gonna be
fucking
honest.
All right,
by the
so-
same strategy
Guys,
twice.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of just blanked out throughout the most of the conversation with that tiny lady. All I
yeah.
understood from it was get the fuck out, and that was it.
Yeah.
Where was the racism at? And
It
When
was like a casual thing directed towards we don't want your friends coming along.
She said
It's just
unsavory company or something.
yeah, it was subtle.
Yeah.
It
But
was
she was looking at Blake, so it's racism now
That-
because he
that-
was looking at
they're
Adaphonus
all
when she said that.
vagabonds, really. They're homeless.
Yes.
right, but her
That is
attention
true.
went straight to Blake, which was subtle and good. Like that's how you do that shit.
It's subtle. It's good.
That was
I
the
don't
one
hate
good part about the
I
scene.
love it. It's one good thing about that entire scene,
The
aside from
fucking- I think I said this in spoilers recently, but the fucking commanding officer coming out to talk to them. Okay, sure, I can buy that. Why the fuck did she open the goddamn gate to walk outside to directly speak to them when her
Yeah, that
standing
doesn't make
orders are
sense.
to keep people out of the fucking base? Why
Because-
open the goddamn gate?
Well, also it kind of played like, hey, I know General Mattis. Would you please talk to me? Like, no.
hang on a second. If General Mattis and Maria hate each other, why'd she give her new eyes?
No.
She gets her eyes
Mattis
repaired
isn't
there.
the U.S. one, like the real.
Is the U.S. Secretary of Defense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who gave her the eyes? Like I said, I just
She-
just an Atlas,
Yeah.
technician.
She goes to Atlas to some technician that I guess does maintenance on them every few years. I think she said.
How much you want to bet it's the same guy that made Penny?
How much you want to bet that Maria slept with him and that's why she hates her?
Gross. Don't want to think about that.
I mean, it would have been a younger Maria, to be honest.
Hey, it's me,
From what she
Maria.
said, it seems like it's mostly from her repeated visits for her eye problem.
But her main beef is that she didn't check her luggage before going on a plane.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
really
Also,
out there.
Why doesn't she fucking live in Atlas if she's dependent on Atlas technology?
You're asking the wrong
Because-
people. Spoilers.
Yeah,
Spoiler
because
question.
No one in this universe thinks like they live in this universe.
Yeah, they really don't behave like they should.
No.
Or why hasn't the
Yeah,
one...
that's a big problem. Like throughout this show, this entire franchise, no one behaves as if there's there's millions and millions of monsters surrounding our kingdoms that are attracted to negativity. Hey, let's host a sporting earning tournaments in which winner take all, and losers get laughed at, and we hate them. Fuck you. How does that work?
Especially Vacuo, since they got clean swiped out of the entire tournament.
How many civilizations, how many city-states have been wiped off the map because of that? Do you think there were 8? Like 8 or 9 other city-states that got wiped out? That existed at the time, at the end of the war.
Well,
but after so many vital festivals, there's now only 4. Because,
never mind the Grim. I mean, the God of Darkness wiped out humanity.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but God of Light is the origin of Silver Eyes. That's
yeah.
I called that. I called that shit. I knew it was coming.
But how did he create the? I'm so confused about that because did he anoint some person to carry on Silver Eyes? Is it just a magical thing?
He made the Silver Eyes to combat the Grim.
Right.
So that humanity had a chance against the Grim.
Gift. It was his gift, which most likely be.
Can I just
he
say
gives random bloodlines with Silver Eyes?
Well, it used to be common, according to Maria. It's just that Salem's been hunting down and killing all of them. That's why there's not that many left, and why it's considered...
Jen's a dirty liar.
Oh, how is Jen a dirty liar?
Can I just say that's...
Well, because there's obviously now a way to defeat Salem. Silver Eyes.
I don't think the Silver Eyes are the true solution.
Well, she didn't lie. I think they're just missing the context and why she said no.
I believe she meant that by I think she said that you can't. I think she was just referring to because Osmond can't.
Osmond specifically said, "How do me defeat Salem?" She tells him, "You can't." Not that she can't be defeated. It's just that he specifically cannot.
Some people with silver eyes. That's not an answer.
Well, she's a genie.
Guys, I'm serious. If RWBY turns into a dragon at the end of this series, I'm tapping out. Well, near the end of the series.
But she's a genie. She's going to be a trickster kind of She will answer the question in a way that is genuine, but at the same time, she won't give you details you didn't necessarily ask for. It's kind of like the monkey's paw hubris thing.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Like if he had said, how is Salem, or how can Salem be defeated, she might have given him a better answer than just, you can't. Because he was specific rather than leaving it open-ended for her to oh, okay, I have to think about this for a second.
Yeah. Honestly,
okay,
I don't.
So the question that he should have asked was, what can defeat Salem?
Rather than how can I? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Or how do we end this show?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can I just say that speech between Maria and RWBY was really dumb?
I actually liked it.
Sound no, it was fine. It was Silver Eyes, but the way it was explained was really dumb. Just say fucking friendship, please.
Yeah, friendship is massive.
Friendship.
Don't try to make this shit sound Don't try to make this shit sound super deep and.
Well, she was also wrong. The desire to protect. Pyrrha was dead. That was not the emotion going in her head at that time.
Yeah, it was probably sorrow and vengeance is what was going through her head right there.
Yeah, that seems a little contradictory. They definitely need to start. There's probably more to this than we know, but at the same time, though, I doubt that they will do anything.
I'm happy to see Silver Eyes getting explained, but my God, just say friendship. Stop trying to make this sound deep.
I don't know. If they want to try to do it, so be it. But
okay,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Carrie co-writes this show, and he just made friendship magic.
Well, Fairy Tale's been doing that for years and years, so he wouldn't be the first.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they beat half the villains in fucking Fairy Tale.
Oh, here's something
It's a My Little Pony joke.
Here's something we haven't talked about.
Okay.
Maria's semblance.
Ultra
Yeah.
instinct, you mean?
Yeah, or to
Yeah.
use Fate terminology, mind's eye or intuition.
No,
I
I just
have
called
great
it.
reflexes. It's fucking one-shotted in the eyes.
Yeah,
definitely.
By a mook, no less. That makes
yeah. Her power is just a dex buff. That's all. And again, it kind of plays to the argument of what the hell does aura do for you? Because it blends too much with semblance.
Wait, how many hits did Mario take in that fight?
She got like kicked once, I think.
So
She got
she's
kicked and then
very
she got
low.
headbutted.
And one of the
Don't forget the invincible headbutt.
But I thought that ceilings were the greatest enemy of aura.
Well, walls clearly aren't because John
Just
just broke that damn wall.
Oh no! The
Like
walls have gotten
he
weak.
has a lot of it.
like the sister and the wife walk in, and the
my
wife's like,
God.
"Damn, honey, he
Okay.
pounded that wall harder than you did last
Oh,
night."
now okay, Sean punches the wall. Now all I can think about now is fucking Pink Floyd, but not the good stuff. I mean the final cut Pink Floyd.
Oh,
Yeah. Just the shitty Roger Waters goes up his own ass, Pink Floyd.
You think next episode is gonna be another talking episode?
We don't know.
Um,
Let's see.
what
Doesn't
could they
really
talk
look like they
about?
set up anything at that.
No,
that
no,
episode, so
no.
It might be another
Yeah.
talking episode.
Yeah,
No.
I'm guessing that it's gonna be like Oscar focused. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Oscar focused.
Yeah, them looking for Oscar. And then my whole thing was that Neo and
But it's gonna
Cinder
be focusing
are
on
going to
Oscar
find him
himself,
right at
not
the end
like-
of the episode, and that'll set up the fight for episode 10, which will be coming back once they go on their week-long break or 2-week-long or however long break they have going.
It's gonna be focusing on like Oscar as in like following him around, like asking why he like, and he's gonna be fighting like Ozpin about him forcing him to come on this adventure, like and not telling him everything, or some hormonal bull crap or something. Ah, God.
Oh, actually, something I need to clarify from my reaction is that I said that they didn't explain Silver Eyes very well. I actually need to correct it that they did explain it well. I just kept talking over the damn dialogue.
Yeah.
It's so hard because she beats around the bush for like ever
overall.
before she finally says, "Yeah, it's friendship." It's like her explanation is 2 minutes of bullshit, and then it's like, "It's friendship, by the way." Like another minute of bullshit.
I mean, I understand that it's friendship and stuff, but at the same time, though, it's just. I feel like you can't just outright say it because that just feels weird.
Yeah, this is why she didn't just say friendship. It's like to protect the ones you love, like, as if she's
I mean,
that girl from
with how
Last Jedi.
At least with shonens, they're straight to the point with how the MC got their power up. Oh, it's rage. Oh, it's friendship. And whatever. But usually it's rage. Usually it's rage, though.
Oh yeah. And speaking of like,
They don't try to make it bigger than it actually is. They just say, "Oh, it's like emotions and stuff."
Mm-hmm. It's when the plot demands it.
At least there's something interesting narrative-wise with it. I mean, Silver Eyes sound kind of interesting narrative-wise, but just not very useful.
So I just had a thought. Like, going back to like Volume 5, once we got to Episode 8, we kind of knew where they were going with the overall plot. It was going to be a confrontation in Haven. Can anybody tell me what this volume is building up to? Like, I know they're trying to get to Atlas. What?
It's going to an AA meeting with Crow. That's what this.
Oh, I know.
No, it's
cliffhanger ending where Crow dies.
Maybe.
That's the only scene left. The Crow getting grabbed by a molesty hand.
It's probably gonna be what we said before. It's gonna be Cinder and Neo versus RWBY and Co, and they're gonna like wreck shop because they have Neo there and she's
the
perfect.
Cinder and Neo scene was in the opening. It was already shown though.
Yeah, they've shown everything in the intro.
Actually, I just realized we still haven't had floating person yet.
Who?
No, that was Ozpin, wasn't it?
It might have been discarded assets.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
If this season ends with the cliffhanger of Crow dying, how would you guys feel?
Meh.
I wouldn't be angry about it because Game of Thrones is
a 3-volume problem. Like
I'm really happy that someone actually like Bro actually like I guess because what really is the big point of having Crow around aside from like his connection with Ironwood? When he killing him off, just make it make the story more interesting because they don't have that connection anymore.
Originally, they didn't even need Crow to speak to Ironwood. They just needed Osmond to speak to him because Osmond's the only one that Ironwood would genuinely listen to. But he's kind of taking a back seat now. So.
Oh yeah, why couldn't Winter be in this episode?
Exactly. I was so fucking angry that we had to introduce this random fucking character that we're probably going to see maybe 2-3 times max. Instead, we could have brought back Winter. That would have been so much better.
You know, it's interesting how the bad episodes always give us more to talk about.
Also, they're also probably doing where they're waiting for the villains to catch up. That's
also I have to harp on the fucking short lady again because White Schnee is right in front of you. You would think she'd be like, "Hey, Tweedledee, Tweedle," and I'm like, "Fucking seize her! I got some reward money I want to get."
She's obviously been kidnapped by terrorists and has been brainwashed. Let's obviously take her in custody.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Whitley already killed Jockus and he's in control now.
Or that to be fair, the Schnee family could probably be pulling strings, so.
Well, it's an oligarchical structure.
Oh,
so why do they even need
turns out there's some weird other lady masquerading as my daughter. So yeah, don't get them confused.
Or more, I'm thinking more. She doesn't matter anymore in the scheme of things because she's
she doesn't matter anymore because she's been disowned, so she's worth nothing.
So no. She's still worth something because she could still be married off to another family, and therefore we have ties to their assets and shit now. So she may not be the heiress anymore.
She's run away. Do you think that Papa She's gonna be happy with her back? Do you think she's going to be?
Oh no, he's gonna be fucking furious.
I will laugh myself to death if she goes back to the Sneed Dust Company and he tries to marry her off to Carden.
Yay! Carden,
Who's Carden?
one-faced bully that was in Volume 1 and got his ass kicked in Volume 2 and we haven't heard of since.
Yeah,
exactly. The hero that beat the shit out of John.
Yeah, Pierre emasculated him, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guy who picked on the fondest girl while everyone else watched and just was, that sucks. It'd be great if someone, got involved, but no, it's not going to be us.
You actually make a great point. Carden is the best character in the show because he's the only one that ever picked on John.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah,
Carden, best girl.
That's why
Carden, best girl.
Because we can't have anyone, picking on John anymore. Not even playfully, because Sean is perfect and fuck you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, after this last episode, I think people might actually start to turn on John, given how much of an asshole he was.
I feel like that they've realized after Volume 5 and all the backlash that not everyone loves John as wholeheartedly as writers do. He's like, is he the Wesley or is he the Neelix of this show?
The who or the who?
Like Wesley from TNG, Star Trek TNG, and Neelix from Voyager. Like they were supposed to be the two breakout characters, but everyone hated them because they were just annoying and mostly author self-insert.
Apparently, Wesley was a Gene Roddenberry self-insert.
Yeah, Gene Roddenberry self-insert. Some random kid who wunderkind who just Deus Ex Machina's away the plot. Even though that there's this entire ship full of people with more experience and more knowledge on, because he is like barely a cadet at the start of the show. Like I think he's been like expelled from like the academy and some shit.
Oh dear.
Anyway, speaking of like characters, and how about we get back to like characters? Because I got a long thing about Ruby Rose this volume because. Like everyone was like super happy about like Ruby actually standing up for herself, like in Volume 2, in Episode 2, and not giving away the relic, and asking the wish, and doing pretty much she hasn't had a lot of actual like depth. We haven't like dived into her psyche or anything really. Unlike like the other characters at the house, we got all their fears and their shit and their worries, and we get nothing from RWBY aside from like the crow scene in volume 6, well in episode 6. And I'm like, there really should have been more to RWBY in this volume, like have her bring up her connection with her mother, how maybe right it's so, God, RWBY is so broken a character. They should have brought up to her mother like back in volume 2 when they were talking about their why they're really going to Beacon and becoming a Huntress is.
I was thinking they should have brought it up in volume 4 when like RWBY was questioning like why she even bothered becoming a Huntress in the first place to Jean or whatever. Like, this is my fault. Da da da. They should have brought Summer Rose up there because that'd have been a good time to bring her up.
Or during the Maria talk, like
she's shown nothing
at all.
RWBY's mom doesn't matter. She was just made to deliver RWBY. That's it.
Right. And for Yang to whine about.
Yeah,
that's the only time she was mentioned last volume.
Oh my God! Hang on, RWBY's never mentioned her mother. The only person.
Yeah.
She hasn't mentioned her mother since the volume 3 scene.
Luke, I wasn't finished. Yang is the only one that's actually talked about her.
Yeah. The only time RWBY even brings her up is in that beginning scene of episode 1 of volume 3.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she talked to her mother's grave.
Which you imagine is like something that's like the beginning of like, oh, he has a deep connection with her mother, and that's her noble last stand sacrifice to save her those that were loved. Is what inspired her to become a Huntress in the first place, because she wanted to emulate her mother and become a heroic huntsman. No, they don't give us that. They give us jack shit for like 3 fucking volumes. And they're still giving us jack shit. Seriously.
Yeah, we're getting
Sunrise explained to her. She's doing stuff, but we're not looking into her.
Stuff's happening, stuff's moving.
Yeah, stuff's happening, stuff's moving. Just nothing internal is going on. There isn't like she's not really developing as a character because there's no
she's moving
internal struggle.
Well, she had a character in volumes 1 through 3. Like that was the initial tidbits where we got to know RWBY as a person, how she is in her current state, and then in volume 4, it kind of she took it back. It's like nobody was really the main character in volume 4. Volume 5 destroyed everybody's fucking character. Everybody got fucked in that one. And volume 6 is basically trying to repair that damage. This volume is trying to repair all the damage that's been done, and it's doing a good job. The problem is all the shit that happened before.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else left to say about this episode?
Not really.
I've made my piece on the RWBY thing. I think. Well, I guess I will say like the Jean like confrontation thing. Oh wait, I think I already said that doesn't really like. It didn't piss me off, which amazes me for like a Jean scene. I was actually okay with the scene involving Jean getting like super emotional and angsty.
I felt like
okay with it because for once the writers realized, oh shit, this comes off so asshole-ish.
I felt like Ren was a little off character to this episode. Like from the beginning bit where he was the one that shouted out to what's his face, like, "Oh, it's nice to see you again." That should have been Jean saying that, not her.
Second, Luca, hang on. Ren had a character?
Out of character. He's supposed to be the stoic, quiet type or whatever the hell. Which, oddly enough, in this episode, I actually agreed with John and Blake in the same episode. Never fucking thought that would happen. I agree with Blake when she like got onto the Tweedledee Tweedledum guys and like annoyance. Like, do you really have to do that every time or whatever the hell she sounds like? Yes, thank you. Stop it, you bastards. Anyways,
Well,
Ren.
That's their smart writing, lampshading.
Yeah, lampshading isn't that smart.
Regardless,
If they're saying we have a problem, isn't that funny?
Regardless, though, Blake said something I actually agreed with. Rare occasion, I'll take what I can get with agreeing with her on one occasion. But no, Ren did like a 180, like almost instantly. Like when they brought up the whole Ospen doesn't have a plan thing, Ren seemed calmish or uncertain. But then John got all uppity and shit, and then everybody basically just kind of rage quit into the room upstairs. I was like,
I think Ren realized, yeah, I've never interacted with Pyrrha. Why do I give a shit?
well, what I was thinking, he's like, I think, you know, like what the way he should have done it is that, you know, Jean gets pissed off, walks upstairs, Nora's pissed off, walks upstairs, and Ren's just like, all right, I'm just gonna go upstairs with them, calm them down, and you know, we just need some air. Like he should have been calm, not angry. It doesn't make sense for him to be angry.
Wait, Ren was angry?
No,
he was.
I think he should be angry, but at the same time, though, he should be a calm anger,
right?
Not furious.
I would say almost passive aggressive. Well, that was.
He shouldn't be like Volume 4.
Yeah, because that was him out of his own element. Which it fit that certain scene and all that stuff, but like from here on out, he should be more calm, not as angry as he was in that volume.
Yeah.
But yeah, John's an asshole.
John's an asshole, but I think they're starting to be acknowledging that slightly.
I'm happy that they're acknowledging that because for once, at least they know the character now.
Ospen repeatedly gave Pyrrha the choice to back out. He didn't say, "Oh, you got to do it." No choice.
He gave her the illusion of choice. He played on her emotions.
He picked Pyrrha. You know, he picked Pyrrha knowing full well that she would not say no.
Right, exactly.
I don't think he's smart enough for that, though. At least according to from my perspective, he doesn't appear smart. From the writers, he's apparently smart.
He's a wise old man.
Like, John is an asshole. At least he has a justification for being an asshole to Oscar/Ospen.
Well, Oscar didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he's just along for the ride.
He's mad at Ospen.
Right.
He's mad at Ospen, but Oscar's taking the pits, so to speak.
Well, literally, because he got punched by Crow and then he got shoved to a wall by John.
I was kind of hoping that Oscar would just say enough's enough, break John's arm, and storm out.
That would be funny. That would have been funny.
He did voice one of the things I've been thinking, that, you know, he's lying. Like, that is Ozpin, and he's just pretending to be Oscar.
Well, their minds are supposed to meld together eventually.
Yeah, something's bound to happen.
Also, is it another thing I just realized is that all the adults are acting like fucking idiots. Like Rose being a self-loathing, depressive drunk, while Ozpin's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go fuck off into the nothing. Let you guys sort this out.
Is it Ozpin or Oscar? Because I legitimately believe that they might do a redemption arc of some sort, or try to.
For Ozpin, yeah, they're definitely going to do a redemption thing for Ozpin. I think it's going to come about because of Crow's death. Like, I think Crow's death will be what brings Ozpin back to the front. It was like, oh shit, my best friend and colleague is just dead or just died because of my stupidity. I must fix things.
I gotta say though, if we meet Raven again and she's all like, "Ah, you got my brother killed," I'm gonna get it because bitch, you tried to kill him. What?
Yeah. Which, that reminds me, we have not seen hair nor hide of Ty or Raven. So what the hell was the point of that end credit scene last volume?
I guess it's just something that's gonna get picked up in the next volume.
Actually, no.
I guess
like all the loose ends in volume 5.
Now that I think about it, that would have been a good time to bring up Summer. Like, have them two talk about Summer.
I'm guessing that Raven and Ty are just having pity sex, or rather,
hate sex. They're having hate sex.
Guys, remember, the only other time Raven was ever in a post-credit scene, it got retconned.
That's a good point.
Yes. Oh god.
They're establishing a pattern.
The pattern.
Can't wait.
If Raven is in the post-credit scene, it's not canon.
You know what? The one thing that would make me like rage quit the series if they pulled this off at like the very end of the season. Summer being alive. That'd be like the antithesis of everything I asked for.
Why? Her death though is not.
Yeah, her death is like. Yeah, apparently her death is so unimportant. Like her existence is so important that her own daughter never brings her up except for like one scene in which she's talking to her fucking grave.
Yeah,
And other than that, her other daughter born from her bitch best friend who decided to jilt on her husband, who she remarried.
I think in fairness,
is comparing her to basically being the same thing as by her daughter, to have done the same thing, dying as her mother, who ran away because she didn't want to live with her fucking daughter.
I think it's actually fair for
you.
I think it's fair for RWBY not to bring up her mother because she didn't actually know her mother since her mother died or disappeared or whatever when she was like an infant.
No. Look, I when I was like much younger, I heard about how my grandfather died years before I was born in a car crash, and I felt like a weird empty. I've always felt like a weird emptiness that I never met this man who's like I kind of have to thank for having me exist in the first place. So let alone for a mother who died a hero.
Yeah, they really need to explain what the fuck is going on with her.
Well, that's another thing, though, is that if she died a hero, then obviously RWBY would be proud of her mom because they're not portraying it in the same context that Coda was in My Hero Academia, where his parents were basically just murdered, even though they did die doing what their job was. Like they don't seem to be going that same route. But the difference also is that Coda actually knew his parents, whereas RWBY never knew her mom. So I understand what you're saying, Luke, but I feel like it makes sense for RWBY not to have that level of attachment, whereas Yang actually does, because Yang actually knew who Summer was and actually interacted with her.
Well, RWBY knew her mom.
The Coda connection is kind of an interesting one because Coda resents heroes because of it.
Right.
That's the end goal of it. Like he resents the work that his family did after.
Yeah, until Deku saved his ass, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I take everything back. Heroes are actually amazing."
Well,
but I mean, it's a I mean, not
heroes like children.
Right. It was a life-changing experience for him.
But, all right. So my food's here, so I'm gonna bounce so I can.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much done, anyways.
Yeah, we're pretty done.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me, guys.
Remember to tip your waitresses, guys.
Always tip the waitresses. Always tip the
No,
waitresses.
I mean actually push them over.
Yeah, salt your waiters. Salt your waiters.
Tip your waiters, waitresses. Thank the bus driver, and have a good night.
See ya.
See ya, everybody.
See you guys.